It's like you can get whatever song you want. You don't have to like wait.
I don't want to say laziness factor, but if I can click to get something for free, even if it's illegal, I don't have to do anything.
You know, people are like, you know, it's where you get your money's worth and shit. Like, you pay what you get for and shit. With music, that's not so, dude. Like, you know, you can get the new album or whatever, and it's like one good song on there, and you're like, oh. That's why I started downloading, dude.
And you only get like 2 songs of the entire CD, and this way you can just get the ones that you like.
I'm just, you know, enjoying music and sharing it with people.
LimeWire.com.
I can't really say, dude, but I mean...
Blank CD.
Yeah. Dude, I think the last time I bought one was in 1998.
We bought like 2 CDs a few months ago, but past that we haven't bought one in like 2 years, probably.
But I am the #1 person to buy CDs because I support the artist fully, unless you're like Outkast and make millions.
I'm not hurting anybody, actually. This is my bread and butter here. Obviously, I would, you know, prefer people pay for their music, but, you know, I mean, you got to be honest about this. You got to look at the way the prices have come up in the industry over the years. You got to look at, you know, a lot of aspects like that. And, you know, if you've got something accessible to you that you don't have to pay for, then, you know, people are going to do it. It's one of those things where, I mean, it's just become an unfortunate fact of life in this business.
It's been a rough 4 years. I think the industry as a whole has dropped like 20-25%, and the independent record stores during that time on average have dropped something like 30-40%.
This Chapter 11 thing was a good thing because it was a financial restructuring of sorts where it was going to pretty much take care of any debt the company was in and allow us to proceed.
The prices in there are just incredibly ridiculous. The one thing that they have going for them is they have really good selection, but every time I go in there, I look at the prices and I just shake my head and think, like, you know, how or why would someone spend $20 on one of the CDs that they have in there? I just don't understand how they stay in business half the time.
To combat the downturn in the industry, I think a lot of the stores are trying to stay one step ahead and offer other things that people want, such as expanding their DVD selections. You know, DVDs are selling at an all-time high. Starting to incorporate a lot of collectible things like action figures, things of that nature.
I don't think that Tower Records is going to exist in 5 years. I think that they're like a giant that's past their prime and are ready to be phased out.
On the morning of Monday, March 15th, I got a phone call from my boss and his boss, and basically they asked me if I was sitting down and if my door was closed, and informed me that sometime in June the store would be closing and we'll be completely out of the building by the 30th of June.
I think there's always going to be that niche of people that like to come in and touch the records, you know, touch the CD, actually take a listen to it before they buy it. I think there's always going to be a good amount of people around that'll keep record stores going. Cool, there you go, man. And just need your signature right there. Cool, there you go.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too, man. See you later.
Women, from the land of the tall palm tree. Aloha, old Milwaukee. Hello, Waikiki. I just stepped down from
Used CDs, I really don't think there's anyone that has the same, that has as many as we do.
the words I long to hear.
Here, vinyl never really went away. You know, most other stores by about 1990, they had pretty much got rid of their vinyl and or kind of put it in the back room or side area or something. And with us, since we're geared towards record collectors from the very beginning, we've never gotten out of the vinyl business. We've just expanded it. This is not digital. This is not ones and zeros. This is a stylus tracking over a vinyl object, you know, and it's an artifact in itself. We do in stores that are pretty low key by comparison and very intimate. It's easy to hear the artist and to see them up close and to mingle with them. And you know, we've had some where we've had lines and big crowds out on the sidewalk, and we've had somewhere where there's just, you know, maybe a dozen people milling around listening to the music. But what it does is it gives the artist a format to get directly in front of their public and not, you know, have to do the big show with the backstage entrance, and, you know, it kind of makes it a little bit more down home and real.
Do a bunch of stores, and like, and as far as like in the hip hop community, and as far as what ATX Records is about, is we have a lot of music as far as the stuff that is hard to obtain, like the underground, more stuff that's not mainstream that you can get at Best Buy. So we have like a kind of a communion, a union of people that are always trying to look for these certain artists that are putting this kind of music out. The idea came up from my partner. I have a partner, my partner Neil Siegel, and me and Neil came up with the idea. I was like, you know, I want to start a label. I want to get a store, and I think me and you can do it. You know, got a loan. You know, found the spot. You know, it's pretty much like getting an apartment. We kind of just got to like start from scratch. You know, we had to get our furniture, which is all of our record bins we built. You know, had a lot of friends chip in as far as like the artwork. Like my friend Fernando, he did a lot of these pieces here. As far as like all the people doing stuff, as far as what hip hop is about, rap, freestyle, a lot of us have collaborated and like put our efforts through ourselves and our friends from the vision of Neil and mine to make this happen. So that's pretty much how it started.
I think there's definitely some sort of revolutionary change coming in the future that's going to affect the way people buy their music, the way music's sold.
I guess a legal MP3 is something that the artist or a record label wants you to have or has copyrighted so that you are able to make copies of it.
That's the kind of stuff you're going to find on the new Napster and like the legal peer-to-peer networks that you pay a certain amount, and these MP3s have been authorized for downloading, authorized for spread across the internet, and from what I understand, you don't have to fear any possible conviction for having those on your computer.
I mean, it's all in flux right now because everyone's trying to figure out how all that stuff works. But I mean, Apple came along with a really great, simple, elegant, and affordable solution, and it seems to be winning that race these days.
99 cents for a song, it's not bad, but the kids won't do it.
Charge 1 cent for every download. I'd pay that because it's like, here's $10 for every song I've downloaded.
Yeah.
But then they're too expensive.
The iPod generation is here, and there's nothing the stores can do about it. In terms of physical CDs are going to get replaced by hard drives. That's just the way it is. And they're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. I think that it could be advantageous for them if they're nimble and they figure out ways to make that work.
I think everyone here is looking for jobs. Everyone's going to stick it out till the end for the most part because, you know, there are severance packages for those that stay. And, you know, I've been with the company for over 12 years, so my you know, my severance is considerable. I would love to stay in the music industry. I mean, I have been working, you know, in records, you know, either selling them or whatever since I was 14, because I love doing it. I went to college, got my degree, got out, and got a job at Tower Records, just because I love being around music, especially, you know, this end of it, because it's great to turn people on to music and just be around it all the time. Wouldn't you like to help someone like me? Hire me, please.